Hey guys, welcome to my garden. Kids are playing on the slip and slide over here. Yep, having all kinds of fun. Anyway, my name's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you're here. And today I just thought we would go through my little garden here and just find some herbs. I may have some growing elsewhere too, but mainly in here. And I've picked just a couple already. This is I believe lemon thyme, and it just smells so good. I've so enjoyed having these herbs dried to use throughout the year until they're available again the following growing season. I've made infused oils and added them to soups and all sorts of things. So I just thought that we would go into the garden today and harvest some of those herbs. Maybe there's a few other things as well and we'll pick them too, but some people have fancy schmancy baskets to head to their garden with, and they look so pretty. But this is just Sarah here, and Sarah has an Aldi flat. Oh my, yeah, I'm not fancy, guys. So this is what I have. It's just a little cardboard box, and I'm gonna put my herbs in here, and then we'll take them into the house and dry them. All right, let's go. All right, so this right here is the lemon thyme, and I'm just gonna snip some, and once it's dry, then I just add it to a little jar. I love those little canning ones, I guess, you know, that you might use for jellies, stuff like that, just little amounts of things. And that's generally what I do. I don't need just a gob of these things, you know, for the whole year, but I do love to harvest some and have it available. All right, over here I have some basil. There's not a ton of it, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pick what I do have. So, especially, it's been really, really hot this past summer. Here, we're in August now when I'm filming this, and we're finally starting to get rain again. And so, you can see, maybe, I don't know. Wow, the kids are loud, aren't they? Sorry. You can see that some of these leaves are kind of burnt just from the heat. Alright. These little chickens wonder what's going on and wonder if I'm going to throw them something here. They're always waiting for me. Alright, I have just a little bit of parsley here, so I'll just go ahead and pick it. It's not much. It smells so good and fresh, but I do want to pick it before it bolts. A bunch of these herbs I had cut back because they were bolting in the heat, like super duper fast. But you know, as you can see, some has come back and it's doing well, so we'll see if we can get another harvest from this at all this year or not. This may be about it. So that's the parsley. It smells so fresh. Okay, over here, tangled up in this berry vine that I keep taking out and it keeps growing back. Over here, underneath here, I have oregano, but it's all flowering. I don't know if I'll be picking it or not. I may just clip off the flowered parts. I'll see what there is. Alright, I do have just a little bit of dill to pick. Not very much. Right here, I've used quite a bit. This is the head of the dill. So I'll just go ahead and pick that. Oh, it smells so good. Now over here, let me show you. Over here is the dill seed. Okay, so if I pick this and save it, then I can plant this next season. I can also use the dill seed in different canning and cooking. Now over here I do have some chard. It's beautiful looking. Now obviously it's not an herb, but I am going to go ahead and pick some of it because it just looks so good. Okay, the kids are in the pool now, which is right next to me. But growing over here, I have some rosemary. Yes, it smells amazing. And I have just a little bit of lavender. Alright guys, so I'm going to prepare my herbs and then I am going to use my handy dandy Excalibur food dehydrator. I really do love this thing. I don't use it nearly enough, but as you can see it says herbs and I'll have a heat for that. And then take off the front have all kinds of trays. Now, these are awesome for fruit leather and all sorts of things, which I will be doing this year as well. But to kick off the dehydrating season, I'm going to be putting some herbs in there. So let's get the herbs ready and get them on the sheets. I realized after I came in that I never picked the chives, and I do have some chives growing out there. Not as many as I started in my little greenhouse, mind you, but I did have some chives. Oh well, I guess they didn't get picked, did they? All right, I'm just gonna wash up the sage. I just want to get off any bugs that are on there, because I don't spray my stuff for bugs, but so it's not like there's spray on them, but yeah, I'll never forget the time when I boiled a nice big pot of Swiss chard, I think it was, because I love Swiss chard, and I bit into it, and something just didn't taste right. Y'all, it was a stink bug. Yeah, I had a stink bug in my mouth. They taste just like they smell. Anyway, I had washed my chard, but somehow that little bugger had gotten in to my pot and I had cooked him. Not nice. So now I'm really trying to be even more careful that I don't end up with any stink bugs, because I imagine a dehydrated stink bug wouldn't be any better than a boiled one. Okay, now that I have all my herbs inside my Excalibur, I'm just going to turn it on. It's to just a very, very low temperature. So about 105. And then, yeah, it'll just stay in here until it's dry. It's gonna smell so good, you guys. It's the next day. My herbs are all dry. I just let them dry overnight in the dehydrator. And now I've got some jars here on the counter of stuff to refill from last year. So as you can see, I pretty well used all of that lemon thyme. Really liked that. So let me see what I've got here for, oh, this is the chives. I have a jar of chives too. This is my chives that I have. I just love the smell of chives. Hannah has gotten really into using chives on her bagels and all kinds of things. So here's what mine look like. And I'm sure I could have done better with them. They're not as, what would you say? Not quite as nice maybe, or as fat or whatever is the ones that I bought from Azure Standard, but they really do look fresh and green. And I'm just pouring them into a bowl so that I can get them then into the jar. Chives. So that'll be good on eggs and bagels and all kinds of things. Probably just gonna have to wash that sheet off there. Static clinging to that. So, here they are. Look at that. Nice fresh herbs. Tip this camera for you guys so you can see a little more. Right, so here's my chives, and I'm just gonna put them right into this jar here. Alright. That's not very many, but I didn't have that many, so anyway, there we go. Chives. Now this one here is the parsley. So it's all nice and dry. I went to check on it at one point, and the leaves started blowing out of the dehydrator at me. It's kind of funny. So I just take them and crumble them right off that stem there. Just crumble it off. So here, I'll come up close to the camera. You guys can see. Just crumble it right off. That way you've got crushed parsley. Alright, the parsley's all ready. Sure doesn't make much, does it? It's amazing how much it dries. But here's my parsley from last year. And, you know, a lot of these, some of them I just air dried. You don't have to have the dehydrator. And it's interesting though, it's a different shade of green. I don't know if you can tell that, but the ones from last year, and it could be the age too, but ones from last year, a little more olive green. All right, this is the sage. Oh, look at that. Another calendula flower, I forgot. That's hilarious. All right, this is the sage. I've never dried sage before. I've never done that. I just have used it, you know, as needed. So anyway, I'm interested to see how that works. Looks like it does pretty good. You know what I think I'm gonna do is just put the leaves right into the bowl, get off a couple of the stems here, and then I think I'm just gonna like grind it up with my hands. Okay, let's see here. Now I might want to put this in a grinder. I don't know. I know you get ground sage, and I guess that's why it has that kind of a feel to it, you know, when you put sage and stuff. I use it in my enchilada sauce, and it definitely, like, it'll stick to your teaspoon a little bit and whatever. It's kind of almost fuzzy. It's very unique. I'll put that in a little container as well in my spice area. But for now, I'll just keep it right here in this bowl while I'm working. It smells so good. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. All right, so there's the sage. All right, moving on. We've got our peppermint here. Now, what was that? Basil, right? Yeah, okay. So the peppermint. Look at that. This is so good for making tea. Love to make peppermint tea. So delicious. And then I just kind of take out the little sticks after I've crunched it up. There's just a few of them. And then I'll just add it here to my other peppermint. This here is a richer mint for sure. I almost want to say it's a chocolate mint, but it's just a darker. It's not, I don't know how to explain it. All right, we'll just add it to that jar full there. have these little jars that I ordered off of Amazon. I've made candles in them and stuff. Not these particular ones, but I've used these jars, this type of jar to make candles with. And I thought, well, this would be the perfect size spice jar. I guess I have my rosemary in one. But I like these little itty bitty quilted ones too. I just don't have any more. So I'm gonna put my my basil in one of these, and I'll mark it as such, and then put my sage in one as well. So that works really nice. All right, there's the lemon thyme. This stuff is so good in different recipes. It's amazing how much it consolidates down. That was a lot of thyme. So Hannah is making herself some infused water. She's got lime and fresh mint, strawberries, and a little bit of cherry in there with a bunch of ice. She'll fill it up with water. Fresh herbs can be used in so many ways, and the mint tastes delicious in your water. All right, guys, last herb to go in the jar. I tell you, the rosemary really gives you a good bang for the buck. It's amazing how much you can get off of a little bit. What I don't understand is why they charge so much for rosemary at the store when it's so easy to grow it. Here in zone 7B, I think is what we are, 7B. It'll kind of overwinter. And so I have a very big rosemary plant. Anyway, there you guys go. So now I can clean out this dehydrator here, and I've got a bunch of mess on the floor and just a whole bunch of mess to clean up. But we've got rosemary, lemon thyme, sage, sage, basil, chives, parsley, and mint. So, and then I have that little jar of lavender. Did I show you guys that? I don't think I did. I have just a couple little plants of lavender, so I just sort of add to that over the year. So I don't have a ton. I don't know, that's not focused. There we go. I don't have a ton of lavender, but it's also really nice. You can make lavender tea or lavender syrups. If I had more, I would make lavender sachets. And so anyway, there you have it. I guess I also have the calendula in the back room, back closet, so I guess I won't pull that out, but looks like that. There's so many different things you can do with fresh herbs. I'll give you 2 examples real quick here. Actually, I lied. I have 3 examples. Okay, so teas. This is actually just dried roses that I've gotten, like, harvested it first thing in the morning off the roses, and I just dried the petals. Makes delicious tea. You can do rose and lavender and mint. It makes such a good tea with a little bit of honey in there. So there's that idea with fresh herb, or fresh dried herbs. Also, check out the Elliott Homestead. I did not show how to make these on my channel. She does a fantastic job on her channel. But I made her Tuscan herb salt. Put it in this neat jar here. It's so delicious on like potato wedges and stuff in the oven. It's all a bunch of fresh herbs and salt and stuff put in the oven to dry. Or, yeah, I think I did it in the oven. Anyway, delicious. I also did Shea Elliott's infused oil. You can do so many different kinds. Mine is done in olive oil, and it is rosemary, garlic, and chili olive oil. So I put a bunch of garlic cloves from my garden, and the rosemary from the garden, and some chili flakes. not from the garden, in the olive oil and just let it cook on a very, very low heat for like probably about 40 minutes. Turned it off, let it cool, and then bottled it. You guys, this is amazing on pasta, just saying. Just amazing on pasta. So anyway, if you guys have grown any herbs this year, I hope that gives you some ideas. Oh, another idea is for fresh, if you chop up like basil and stuff and you put it in some oil and freeze it in ice cubes, that is delicious. My daughter absolutely loves it. To take out an ice cube full of all these freshly minced herbs in the oil or like a butter or whatever, and you put it with your noodles, with your pasta. So good, so good. All right, well, happy herb harvesting, you guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.